everybody, it's Amanda. Today we're going to be discussing an introduction to a do-while loop using a menu as well as a void function and also another type of function that you haven't seen. However, it doesn't include arguments because we haven't discussed those yet. If you haven't noticed, these videos are stacking on top of each other and they're including a little bit of information during each. However, let's go ahead and run our program. So as you can see inside of the program, we have one function call, and the function call itself is called display menu to user right down here. I'm going to go ahead and run the program now. It was on my last program. Alright, so the selections for this menu are between 1 and 3. 1, ask for your favorite number. 2, display hello world. I noticed in my last video when I used display hello world, I capitalized the W. I don't know why, but whatever. 3, display the day. 4, and is to exit. Press 4 to exit. So I'm going to enter in a number. Let's start with 1. What is your favorite number? I'm going to enter in 7. And then it exits and it says your favorite number is 7. If I run the program again, this time if I enter in something above 4, it will ask it again. Let's go ahead and do 8 or a negative number. It's going to keep doing it. Okay. Let's go have it display hello world now. So number 2. Hello world, and then I'm going to do one last run of the program just to show you all of the options here. So number 3 is going to be the date, is going to display the date here. So the date today is 6/24 of 2022, and actually I'm going to show you one more just to show you how to exit it, just because. So press 4 to exit, and it will exit. So now I'm going to go over here to my program. As you can see, starting from the top, I've included my input and output stream, and these are my prototypes. This is what I was discussing about for my people who are beginning from starting from the beginning, sorry. So this is going to be your different type of function because it's no longer a void function. As you can see, it starts with the keyword int, which stands for integer, which means it's going to return an integer data type. However, it still has parameters, still has a semicolon, and it still needs a name. So this is the prototype for that function, and the same thing goes for the void function below. However, it is still a void function, and it's not going to return anything. As I come down to my main menu, I'm going to call the function, which is what displayed what displayed the menu in the first place, and then it's going to still return 0 as of right now. Below my program, I'm going to have my first function, so this is actually my function, and as you can see, it starts with the data type. And that's just going over what we've been talking about, and it has a name with parameters, even if they don't have anything inside of them, and the curly braces in here without the semicolon is going to be your syntax. So as we come into this function, again, data type, name, parameters, curly braces, you can see it starts off with an integer variable named num, and then it says do, and if you scroll down, it has while, and it has parentheses here, and then it ends with a semicolon, and then you can see the keyword here followed by num, so keyword return, and then you can see the num is returned. So I have my integer num variable. The difference between a do while loop and a regular loop is if the loop isn't true, or sorry, if the loop is true, it will continue. However, if it's not true, it will skip the loop. Do while loops, it doesn't matter. It will automatically jump into the loop and see if it's true or if it's not true. So it's going to jump automatically inside of the loop. So as you can just say here, so again, as I run my program, it's going to display the menu option, and then it's going to see if I press 1, so if num is equal to 1, it has this new integer variable which asks the user for their favorite number, and then it takes the number, and this is your stream insertion operator, this is your stream extraction operator, so it's going to extract favorite number and it's going to store it inside of this variable. So if you see here, if you wanted to see what it looked like in memory, so if you're going to see, just for reference, if I wanted to see that fave number was stored in memory, I could. I'm going to show you that now, just to show you something a little bit different here. And you're going to see a whole bunch of weird numbers and stuff, and it went back to recap, so sorry about that. Let me go ahead and change it. Alright, here we go. So then, since I did my 1, I wanted to press 1, and I'm going to do 7. And see, so as you can see, your favorite number is 7 because it's going to display your favorite number is 7. And here's the favorite number variable that's being used when asked for, followed by my endl. However, you can see this weird number. That's because that is where it's storing that number inside of memory. Again, integers are 4 bytes. And there we go. So as we continue into this loop, it's going to continue. So if it's not equivalent to 1, if it's else if, it will go into this else if. If num is equal to, it will display hello world. As you can see, this is another function call inside of my else if. So my function call, it's going to go up to this program. It says, oh hey, I have this prototype for my display hello world. It's going to go down here to this function and display hello world if number 2 is selected. So let's go ahead and see again, just for reference. So if press 2, hello world, yay! Alright, and the same thing applies for number 3. I'm not going to run it through the program for the 3rd time. If you haven't got it by now, then go ahead and code this out. So else if num equal 3, it's just going to display the date. If number 3 is selected, it will display the date. Today is 6/24 of 2022. And then the reason why that this conditional is working, and press 4 to exit. So as long as the number, so as long as we have our num variable, so again, integer data type, name num, variable, followed by our semicolon, syntax for this particular type of variable, and then we see in our number inside of our num variable here, and then we come down, and while num is less than 1 or while num is greater than 4, then the loop will continue. So basically, if we did that, yeah, as we did, if we did a negative number, it would continue. If we did anything greater than 4, it would continue. The only way that this loop is going to continue in this case is 4, and that's because it's going to be false. So it's going to get you out of that loop as if you press 4, as if it's greater than 4. So as you can see, 4 exits. If I did 8, it still goes 7, 7, 7, 7. But if I press 4, it exits the program. So this is the difference between the void function now and your integer function. So this is an integer function with 0 arguments. However, as you can see, I still have a loop in here. I still have a variable here. However, this is all within the scope of this function itself. So this variable does not exist outside of this function. It will not exist in this main program. So these variables exist, and also the number is returned back to the main program so it knows what number it's getting. And that's the difference between a void function. As you can see, when we come down to the void function, that's when I said in my video for the introduction to functions that void functions don't return anything. They don't return anything. You can use the keyword itself return if you want to. There's nothing preventing you from doing that. See, as if I run my program, I'm not going to get an error of any kind because I'm just using the keyword return. However, that's just a style preference or maybe a requirement depending on the company that you work for. If you like this video, please share, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope everybody has a great day. I'll try to add some notes. I don't know if you all like the notes. If you do, please let me know. Thanks.